self-confident. Meeting new kids makes children nervous. They're unsure about what to say or how to approach other children or adults. So what you can do is prepare them for new social encounters by doing frequent little role-playing activities with them and helping them practice social conversation by pretending to be the new kid. Teach your kids how to initiate and sustain conversations with others. Teaching them social skills is the first step to making them more comfortable in honestly just about every given situation. The more comfortable that they feel in these situations, the easier that they'll learn how to be assertive. The better they understand themselves, and the more that they'll know how to articulate their needs. Now, as you go through these role playing activities, you must teach your children how to ask questions and get others to respond. You'll also want to equip them with skills on following up the information that they receive. This is going to teach your kids to become good listeners. This is especially helpful for shy children. This way, you can develop the children to become good listeners, excellent conversationalists, self confident, and assertive individuals. Now, because of their tender age, frustration easily sets in, and children have a tendency to respond with anger. So, it's imperative to teach your children that anger is not a good tool for asserting themselves. Now, as an adult, you already know that other people react negatively towards anger and aggressiveness. Anger just distorts the message that the child's trying to deliver, thus resulting in a breakdown in communication. So, just as this is highly ineffective for adults, it is with children as well. Credibility is automatically discounted when they display their anger. Now, children can be more expressive in communicating anger. Signs of anger might include dragging their feet, passive aggressiveness, throwing tantrums, breaking toys, hitting others, you name it. So it might be hard to understand, especially for younger children, that anger is not an effective tool in building assertiveness. Now, when you're asserting your authority over children, one of the qualities that you should have is persistence. Repetition is another effective way for teaching younger toddlers. You repeat over and over and over what you want from them. Your children can use the same tool to help assert themselves to their peers as well. Now, yelling, screaming, and pounding isn't going to get them what they want, but persistence is going to wear down the opposition that they may experience. Another useful tool is working out a compromise with others. Everybody wants to feel that they've won the round. Compromising ensures that both sides win and nobody loses. So, asserting without denying the rights of another person can bring about a peaceful solution to everyone. Non-assertive children, though, will be oversensitive to criticisms, especially those expressed by family members. Remember, they just want to be liked and accepted by everyone. They're also terrified of getting caught making a mistake. They're constantly afraid of being wrong, doing something wrong, or being thought of as stupid, so to speak. So you can also spot non-assertive children because of their lack of persistence. They're going to give up far too easily and not try after maybe one single failure. Now, children must also be taught to deal with mistakes. They have to know it's not the end of the world if they make an error. Everybody makes mistakes, so it's okay as long as you admit it and try to rectify it. Now, when children are not taught how to cope with mistakes, they tend to get extremely upset. So, learning to deal with one's own faults and those of others is difficult for adults to deal with, let alone children. So, it's important to let them know that it's okay not to be perfect because none of us are. You shouldn't expect them to perform perfectly all the time. Perfection is something none of us can live up to no matter how hard we try. It is unfair to expect a child to be perfect. Many children spend their whole lives trying to live up to their parents' unfair expectations instead of learning the best at whatever it is that they choose. Now, as far as criticism is concerned, you should prepare your children in handling criticism. They'll receive criticism all through their lives, as you know. There's always going to be someone around to criticize them. The critics are out there waiting to pounce on them for any imperfection or error. And when children learn to relax and just be themselves, and they develop the ability to filter what others have to say and learn not to be as easily influenced by the opinions of others, this is going to result in them leading happier and more relaxed lives. They're going to grow up and become well adjusted adults in the future. Now, keep in mind that the only way that you're going to be able to teach your children to assert themselves is by learning how to be assertive yourself. As much as you want your children to be assertive and learn to stand up for themselves, you can't become a pushover parent either. So if you find it hard to say no to your children when they're making unreasonable demands, and if you give in repeatedly, you are setting the stage for their demands to grow larger and larger and larger with each passing day. So it's up to you as the adult to set the example for your child. No means no, period. End of discussion. You don't have to become a doormat to ensure that your child becomes assertive. You also don't have to express your an experience. So if you're assertive and fair, they're going to learn to become assertive and fair as well. Also, you want to keep in mind what John Whitehead said. Children are the living messages we send to a time we will not see.